Just doing some labor breathing. But it feels like my stomach, I feel like I'm in transition in birth right now. Like it's just been so upset. I know a few of my friends have had a really upset belly in the last few days, and it's to be expected. So you're wondering why I named this video that? Why do you think? Oh, I honestly think tomorrow's the start of something new and brand new. The April Fools was just to make a fool of us all. So they're all about the dates, and I think this is why it's coming about, is all the loans are due today. All the outstanding loans, the disaster stuff, everything is starting to compile, and these guys are feeling it. So it's too bad more people aren't on here right now, because I was going to do, if anybody's on here that can comment, can you just pop in a comment to see if they're working today? Because I'm not sure if they actually are. I'm just gonna sip my cappuccino. I guess it's more like a decaf latte. Maybe my comments aren't working a bit. And big shocker. Oh, there you are. Hi, David. So, anyways, I wanted to show you guys a chart. I'm making a chart. I made a chart, a little quick chart. And hopefully this will explain my thought process on what's happening right now, because people are having a, nothing's happening with the containers. Whatever. So first of all, I'm going to read you a conversation. So thank you, my lovely friend. I know she's probably not even watching this show right now, but thank you if you are watching, Melissa. In UK, you know who you are. So I asked her some Bible questions the other day because I keep getting these stories come. David, I sent you a Facebook request. I got banned and lost my account. Well, the struggle's real, dude. I'm even, oh, what's going on with my hair? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just annoying me. So I text my friend Melissa and I'm like, can you answer me some Bible questions? Because this is why I know we met like 6 years ago. I think I mentioned in some of my videos, for some of you that are new following me, I'll just update you to some of the things. This isn't a I told you so session. But last year, I had been involved with the guy claiming to be the king, or the bloodline, one of the bloodlines of Christ. So in my mind, it was like, yeah, the Da Vinci Code movie told us there was more than one bloodline. So what that story to me did is it exposed the queen as a fraud. I understood at a deeper level how the game was played. So going back to almost a year now, this is some of the things, and people are like, "Oh, that guy's a fraud." Well, is he? Like he always supported world peace and he always supported just Sarah. I don't have a bad thing to say about Greg, by the way. You will not find me saying a bad thing about that guy. So, there are people around him that I am not fond of. I'll just leave it at that. They don't never sat in my vibration since day one. So I'll just leave that alone because it's not about that this morning. So since like going back to last year when a lot of us got activated to the true meaning of our lives, I'll say I've always had a sense of being awake. I've always been very intuitive. I've always been psychic to my friends. So I'll say something and I know my verbal diarrhea is meant to be there for a reason. So it is to help transmute fear. That is what my life path is, period. I'm here. I've recognized that in myself. So there are many different, what do I want to say, roles that people play in our lives. And some of us are messengers, some of us are key holders, And Fifth Element Goddess went over this in a really beautiful, I think it was only like 9-minute video yesterday on our page. So if you don't follow Duomo Fifth Element Goddess, it's DOU capital M capital U Fifth Element Goddess on YouTube. It's worth it. So really great message there about connecting and where we should be. So, and love and vibrations and all of that stuff. So what I wanted to point out to people today is this is literally my interpretation of what all of the stories that have connected me to certain things and certain timelines in certain periods of my life. So I'll just rehash the last 7 years of my life I've been spent writing a book. I thought it was going to be 3 books. And I posted a thing about that last year on this channel. It might have been taken down because the one where the king and the documents that one's been taken down. 1,000 views, and that one's gone off YouTube, but it's still floating around out there. I know it is. Chopped up into bits and whatever. Doesn't matter. But what I think my purpose is to kind of explain to you how I see the game, and I mean the game of life, period. And I don't mean it like it's something to be taken lightly. So let me go over what I think is literally going on. Jason, I'll tell you what the publishing, what I learned is this is what happened. I went to Europe in 2015 to research castles, how England and because a large part of my story was about King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn times, but I could see it in another dimension, in another time, like as if I was there in that room the whole time with those people. And I've always been linked to that. So now I know about remote viewing and walk-ins and all of this stuff. It's really made me go, was I there? Who was I in that timeline? And did I help somebody? Because I can't get away from that story. So the 3 stories that I was writing was one in the present time with a girl named Raven, one in the named Angela, one in the very like now time named Raven, and then one in the past, very 16th century, named Anna. And now I realize that was the 16th century story was King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. And I always felt like she never got killed. So when Greg Hallett showed those documents about how her execution was faked way back then, and they were held in the Tower of London, her and Walter Raleigh were held in the Tower of London, and they had kids. I was like, she was the royal bloodline, an actual royal bloodline, like Diana. So the story of Anne Boleyn and Diana makes sense to me completely. It's like, oh. And when I got caught up to Greg and his timeline, I was like, oh, everything was making sense. So I've been writing my own book of the truths, and I really don't think it's my own book anymore. I think I'm assisting with all of the truthers and everyone out there decoding all of this. We're assisting each other in writing the Bible 2.0, period. We're decoding all of the scripts, and the Bible 2.0 is going to include Bible 1 and then all of the 711 books that were taken out, and then all of our stories, all 8 billion of us are going to have a place in this story. Okay? So that's the amazing thing. That is the amazing thing that we need to realize is we're literally catching up to the timelines. All of us are catching up to the timelines. And how am I going to explain this to you? Okay. Hopefully it makes sense. Oh, is this written down somewhere? Yeah, on all my videos, that's where it's written down, Jason. Okay, so I'm going to just back up because I didn't put my thing here. So I hope you guys can all see it. So if you go look at the story of Moses, He was basically the boy in the basket who was saved by the princess, and when the pharaoh was killing all kids under 2. So his mother put him in a basket and sent him down the river, and the princess uh, saved him basically and raised him. So he was a prince. So he didn't like all of the slaves, so being slaves. So he went around and freed them when he found out he was a Hebrew. So this is what I was going to read you in Melissa in here. So I said, can you answer me a Bible question? And it turned into a million. So I said, who was the angel that told the 3 wise men / Jesus' birth? I'm trying to figure out some Bible stories. She goes, the archangel Gabriel. And I'm like, that's what I thought. That's the angel of truth. And last year in videos, I'm like, I know I work very, like, I'm working with Archangel Gabriel. There's such a significant power behind me that I'm so tapped into Gabriel. It's ridiculous. So, and she goes, what Bible stories are you looking into? And I said, well, the disciples, Moses, the angels around Jesus. And she goes, Gabriel told the shepherds, not the wise men. I go, that's right, the shepherds. I said, I was Gabriel. I was Gabriel in the Christmas play when I was 6. It was so long ago. She goes, the wise men were actually at Jesus's birth. They found Jesus about 2 years later. And then me and my smart ass, what did they do? And why uh, do they put them in the scene? LOL. So confusing. And she laughed and she goes, the wise men, women, saw an unusual star in the sky, so they followed it. And I said, oh, that makes sense. That's taking so long. I go, what did Moses do? But she was still responding. The Magi wise men were called to Herod when they reached the city. They did not tell Herod where Jesus was, but they left him with gifts, which means they are all able to flee the city before Herod had all babies and 2 and under killed. Moses, found in a basket by the river by the princess during a time when the Egyptians were killing off male babies. Moses found out he was Hebrew, demanded the slaves set free. 10 plagues were visited upon Egypt because the Pharaoh kept saying no. The last plague is why we have Passover. And she goes, Moses then led the slaves across the desert for 40 years to the promised land. And it's during this time that God gave Moses the 10 commandments. The journey took so long because it was a purification process. Like, she's giving me words. I love this. I love Melissa. She's always spoken. She's not like religious, she's biblical. She can tell you scripts that mean stuff. Like, and I said to her, now I know why we met, because I'm always like, I'm not a Bible person. I'm just not. So she always prays for me, which I appreciate. So, anyways, she goes, only a completely new and pure generation would go into the promised land, the land of milk and honey. Even Moses died right before everyone entered the promised land. Going back a bit, she goes, Moses parted the Red Sea so the slaves could escape the Pharaoh. It took them days to cross. When the Pharaoh and his army caught up, the sea closed on them. And I go, that's the best story I've ever heard from the Bible. So thank you, Melissa, for making it so succinct. And this is what made me put it all together in one little chart for you. So hopefully it all makes sense. So 40 years, promised land, Pharaoh was evil. I'm going back to Jesus too. He also kicked the bankers out of the city, and that's why he was crucified. So if we think about where we're at in our little chart, I'm going to put my glasses on, so hopefully it's not too blurry. Okay, let's go to our easy land, air, and water. Okay, air and water are what these one-eyed monsters have like literally controlled us by, the cyclops of money. They've controlled us by 3D contract of uninformed consent. We did not know what we were signing. Our parents did not know what we were signing when we were born. They did not know they were signing away our wealth. Okay, no one knew that. That's the biggest deception on earth, basically, is that we are all rich, and trying to convince people that they have money is almost as difficult as it is explaining that the devil exists. So, deception, number one game, okay? So we were all deceived at birth, and so that means what we're coming to is all contracts in this old scheme, pyramid scheme, are going to be collapsed. That's today, people. Today, all contracts are due. All contracts are due worldwide. April 1st is the new quarter of the Republic of America. Okay, that's their first financial quarter. It's the Julian calendar. Okay, so all of these in my mind have to do with the ship that's right now that looks like a movie. Okay, so if we think about what our timelines are, if we're in 5D and we've had these happy, benevolent beings come and help us, I always think their head looked like a heart shape, anyways. Isn't that funny? So, like little ETs, like the movie ET, they're all good, coming to help us here. Then they're circling around in our love vibes. And I see this as like how we see maybe Elon Musk's Starlink system going around. So now, when we get our new multipass, which will look like a digital wallet that's attached to our old contracts. I will tell you something. Kelly and Wes, thank you for informing me this yesterday. They went to renew their insurance or their registration here in Alberta for driving on the roads. Guess what? No stickers. And I'm like, well, how are the cops gonna know if they're legal or not? Guess what? No stickers means no more of that stuff. I truly believe this is the end of it today. I do. I don't care what anybody says. It just can't go on any longer because of the planetary alignment, where that ship is, what it's looking like it's containing. So, why they have it looking like it's a big hunt for Red October is so that the normies, the sleepers, will get a hold of why it has to be dismantled. Why are old shipping contracts that we're actually chattel to as slaves need to be broken? So that this law is reenacted right now. And we've seen all of this happen. Oh, I just had it at 17 minutes. This law here that's coming into force is the same ones that all signed up for Defender 201 years ago. So, in my mind, if we're standing in now time and sixth dimension creatures can see past, present, and future all at the same time, okay, this would make this to me an alchemic golden loop that's infinite. So, everyone here that's connected in this heart vibration around here are through our purification process we're going through. Okay, purification. They've taken all this old crappy negative vibe stuff and put it in through light and love vibes here. Gold, platinum, silver, okay? And yes, that will look like cryptocurrency. Some people are afraid. Now, I've heard Chris Sky say the vaccination passports, they're telling us we are getting new passports, but those passports are linked to this, as far as I'm concerned. Because I know we've already won, because I can see here, and I've seen here myself with my own eyes. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. And our car registration was up in April, and we got ours. Okay. So I'm talking, this is going to be different with every place, every republic will be different in time. Like my good friend Oracle Spice says, the sun goes around the planet all at the same time, but the light always shines. Thank you for that. So if you go look through this story of Moses, there was 3 days of darkness too. There was 3 days of darkness. So be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. We're going through the trust and the truth part of it. Do you have enough love to keep ascending? Keep rising in truth. Keep helping your brethren coming up through this thing. I'm done arguing with people about who's a good guy and who's a bad guy. I'm really done with that because I get the vibrations and how every single person in the world has a place in this and in this story. Whether they're a good actor or a bad actor, they all have been called. We all called this upon ourselves for the Great Awakening. We all chose this billions of years ago. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it today. So this is what we're all breaking right now. They're getting broken. Is all those chattels, all of that stuff gone. So people go, oh, accuse of psyops and da 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 da. You know what? You need to understand how the game is played. Who's to say that all of us in the future didn't create it for us now so we'd know what we were doing now? Like, this isn't about just Trump. This is probably 40 years or plus in the making of a purification process. Think of it. Think of all the things that have happened in 40 years, even in the last 51 years since the fake moon landing. All of this stuff is about us being pure and whole and light and love vibes. So now I think anything is, I think, oh yeah, Kim says, what do you think about Bill Gates saying he's going to black out the sun in June? Well, I think this is all, again, false flags. Bill Gates is like not even Bill Gates right now. I'm waiting to see who all these actors are. So we all know that it was even on mainstream news that Jim Carrey was playing Biden and blah blah blah. So this, like, I don't know, like it's amazing to me. Where I'm thinking, like, who are all the good actors? Like, I'm thinking Liam Neeson. Like, why are they having all these movies? Like on Disney, just go look at the action movies. Why on Disney is there Taken 1, 2, and 3 on Disney? Why is there a movie like Patton on Disney? Why is there like all of these like movies that are about time travel, sci-fi, Star Wars? You know, like there are no coincidences, people. So I implore you, like, why is the movie Deja Vu on Disney? I'm like, why? Why is this movie on here? It's not because they own them. Like, okay, here's an example. If they owned all of them, then why aren't all the Die Hard movies on there right now? I'm wondering, if they own all of these movies, why aren't they putting all the other ones out there? Like on Netflix, The Matrix. And then they'll put number 2 on, but then they'll take number 3 off. Like, it's to wake us up. It's all to wake us up. So again, if you haven't watched things like Travelers or The OA or any of those series on Netflix and you still have it, please go watch it. If you haven't watched The Hunt for Red October, like this is like The Hunt for Red October 2.0. Now, everything I think that they're saying, oh, the people go, oh, the 2 ships, Mercy and Comfort, aren't going there. But you know how many people are looking at them? And are those real addresses, like legitimate links? How are we know that anything that we are seeing is happening right now? We don't. It's a movie. Trust the plan. I completely trust everything that's going to happen. So we are literally, yeah, waking up out of the Truman Show. The boat is crashing into the side, and we're getting up out of it and going, all right, then, peace out. See you later. We don't want to live like that anymore. And that's what we're all being captivated by right now. And so to me, getting sucked down in any vibes about why, when, the timeline, like even if things don't happen tonight or tomorrow, we know that they've happened. So the only vibration we should be carrying is love, because the truth is going to be revealed. And I can promise every single one of you, it doesn't matter who you are, when that goes off, you will find out things you never knew existed. And you will be appalled and you will be sickened. I know, I feel like I'm literally in the last part of birth right now, like the transition period. So it's kind of awesome being kind of like the doula telling you all how to push and breathe through this interesting thing, because it's not the first time I've been a doula. So, my job to just keep you in your highest of vibration. So, I really, really appreciate. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I am. I literally every morning I get up and I'm like, I don't think I even sleep at this point. And I'm having a lot of reoccurring things and bringing a lot of like timelines back and seeing myself in a lot of places that I didn't think I would see. And I'm like, did that happen for real in this timeline? So, yes, a 3D Matrix is definitely a movie. We're going to do some quick card reading. I'm being told to by my higher self. Read some cards, and I get them popping out all the time. So, okay, can't wait for this to come out. Yes. So many friends and family don't care. I just had two more cards, sorry, pop out while I was reading that. So, just know we are living through a whole bunch of timelines coming together and collapsing and converging every day. So, yeah, I've been laying kind of low, keeping my vibes to myself because, first of all, I can't even go for a walk too far. And right by my house, I uh, I've known this for a while, but Sassy Spice pointed it out a little while ago about how there's the circle of 12 trees and there's a rock in there and there's the arch right there. And I've known that was like literally a block and a half from my house. So I've got to live in a really creepy area. So, anyways, we all need to lay low and rest up and take very good care of ourselves. Eat as much fruit and like when I say vegetables, anything that a gorilla would eat. I know Kelly and Wes laughed when I said I called it the gorilla diet, but it's true. So it'll help us be healthier and get through these vibrations a lot easier. So I'm on with the card reading. Ooh, I love it. What do you think? Forgiveness, you guys. Again, 49. I just love it. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Death. Okay, 46. And you guys know the bee, which is lucky. This is a fabulous reading. Today is all about it. Is about the death of the old, forgiveness, and being lucky. Like honestly, I do think Easter is a time where we're going to be together, all be together because Easter pretty much lines up with combating their calendar, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the battle of the two calendars coming together. That's the way I look at that. So, yes, we do need to forgive. Yes, everyone, truth and love, love and truth, surrender to love in the highest vibrations. Love, 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 love. Love is where we're going to be voting. And I want to point out too, these new passes, things that we get, we don't give away anything to get them. We are not giving away up anything. We don't have to get a shot to get it. We don't have to do anything but love each other. Do no harm, love each other. That's what the 10 Commandments is all about. Do no harm and love each other. So, forgiveness. Drawing this marker says that you must now search your heart for any unresolved resentment, anger, or disagreements between you and another. If you're still hurt or angry about another's behavior, or if there's circumstances in your life that you resent, this is a time when it's crucial to release the negative energy surrounding these situations. Mm-hmm. Resisting this will only impede your growth and draw more unwanted experiences to you. Resentment and anger are emotions that actually bind you and hook you to the events that cause your current suffering. Think of them as like the vibes that keep yourself down in the salad dressing mix, if you will. We have to get through the vinegar to get up to the oil, but those negative vibes will keep us down. So they will keep you alive. Uh, oh yeah, okay. Resentment and anger are emotions that actually bind you and hook you to events that cause your suffering, keeping them alive inside of you, draining you of your life's force and inner light. Nothing good comes from hate, anger, or resentment. Peace can only come through forgiveness. when you release all that binds you to negativity. Perhaps you need to forgive yourself for placing unrealistic expectations on your situation, resulting in a self-sabotaging perception tainted by perfectionism. Now, I want you guys to all say, I forgive myself for living in a timeline that I was programmed to believe. I literally think we all need to break out of our time programming. There is no time but the present. There is no time but the present, and I am grateful for it. So look at the world and see how the lack of forgiveness feeds the turmoil and suffering around you. Forgiveness is the key to freedom and peace, and it starts with you. This marker requires you to practice forgiveness so you can be an active part in spreading peace and beauty throughout this troubled world. That is your job. That is literally your jobs. People go, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Forgiveness. Forgiveness. You are a healer and you need to heal yourself. Forgive yourself for thinking that we're supposed to be something that we've been programmed. Oh, I should be this or that. I should wear more makeup or be skinny or be fatter or put on more weight or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because it's not what's driving this from our hearts. It really isn't. Love the person that is inside of you here. Love the person that's inside of you here and forgive that part. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Very beautiful. So, death. Here we go. This marker portends a time of transformation, a total change of attitude, the death of the old. Regardless of how death presents itself, it's a necessary aspect of all things. Always remember the phoenix that rises up out of its own ashes and to soar in the wind, renewed with filled with life. Death is the winter of things, part of the life cycle. When you receive this marker, you are reminded that all things will have their season. Take courage, for in surrendering to death in time, you will be blessed with extraordinary new life. Rejoice, for that which dies fertilizes and fortifies the new. Endings always point to fresh beginnings. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Uh... Yeah, it's really expensive. Actually, everything in Canada is pretty expensive here. I do frozen fruit and make smoothies because I'm like, well, they're captured at the time of and frozen when they're fresh, so it's cheaper option. But yes, organic, fresh stuff, especially when the community health foods doesn't let you in without a mask. Whatever. Anyways, the B, luck, industriousness, and sweet victory. Sweet victory, you guys. Sweet victory. When the bee buzzes on your path, it's a reminder you that with hard work and firm commitment to building your dream, a sweet outcome is assured. The bee is a symbol of luck, so expect miracles and your life will be victorious and sweet. Remember that you also create your own luck. That is, effort is essential as you progress along your path in order to make your dreams a reality. We are all co-creators. We are all co-creators in this golden loop. We are all doing it. All of us have a role. Just like I said, we all manifest that. So the bee is an industrious, busy creature, and that's always making honey. The bee gets busy, and that honey will soon be yours. The land of milk and honey, people. The land of milk and honey. The bee is always a fortunate omen. Mic drop. So there you have it. I love you. I love you all, and I forgive every one of you. I forgive all in humanity. I do. I wish you the the most happiest of light and love on your journey. It's a hard place to come to peace with yourself. It is a hard journey, but once you conquer that shadow self, you can teach others how to conquer theirs. And that's what this is all about, transforming who you are as a person into from what they've expected of us to be to who we really are in our third eye and spirit in our heart. So please take your thoughts from your heart and put them into your head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. We are here. We are present. We are full of light, love, gratitude, and blessings. Thank you for being with me today. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. I love you all. Many blessings to you on your journey. Take care, everyone.